Rooibos seeds are collected in the rooibos fields by gathering all the leaves and fine sand under the bushes and sifting out the seeds. The seeds are about the same size as a grain of sand. The seeds can also be collected by breaking open old anthills. The rooibos seeds have an extremely hard shell, so when the ants collect the seeds, they cannot break open the hard outer shells to eat the seeds. In certain anthills, there are large reserves of rooibos seeds that have been hoarded by the ants over years. The collected seeds are treated with a friction process, similar to sanding it, to break the hard outer shell. The seeds are sown in seedbeds during February of each year, to allow the seeds to germinate and the seedlings to start growing. The seedbeds are kept clean of any weeds with manual labor for optimal growth of the seedlings. When the seedlings are about 20 centimeters long, the root system is 3 times its length and the seedlings can be taken out for replanting. The roots are cut off at lengths of about 15 centimeters long to make it easier to handle and transplant the seedlings. The cutting of the roots does not damage the seedlings. Seedlings are transplanted with a planter in the previous prepared rooibos fields during the rainy season, which runs from June to August. The seedlings are left to grow until April of the following year to give them enough opportunity for proper leaf growth before they are harvested for the first time. The rooibos fields are cultivated with disc implements to keep the fields clear of weeds and invasive plants. PA, pyrrolizidine alkaloid plants, are also pulled and removed from the fields through manual labor to prevent the rooibos plants from absorbing any of the PAs. Rooibos plants bloom in the spring with a beautiful small yellow flower that produces a small pod with a single seed that can again be collected when it falls to the ground. Rooibos plants are harvested for the first time in April of the year after planting. This first harvest is a small harvest, and after the first harvest, the plants will begin to branch out and produce bigger yields for the coming years. After the first harvest in April, rooibos is harvested annually during the hottest time of the year from January to April, which is the time when the rooibos plants have ripened sufficiently for harvesting. We know that the rooibos plants are ripe and ready for harvest when the tips of the rooibos plants' branches have turned red. Rooibos is harvested with sickles, bound in sheaves, weighed and transported to the cutting plant at the drying court. Here, the rooibos is cut mechanically. The rooibos is carved in different lengths, namely fine cut, short cut or long cut, depending on the client's requirements. The rooibos sheaves are opened on sorting tables, ensuring that sand and small stones are removed and fall to the floor. Sand and small stones in the rooibos can damage the blades of the cutting machines. Any other plants that were harvested with the rooibos are also removed here by hand and manually inspected. After the rooibos is cut into the required length, it is transported by a conveyor system to an offload cart. This cart is used to deposit the cut rooibos into heaps of about 300 mm high and 800 mm wide. In the late afternoon, the heap is prepared for oxidation by bruising and wetting the rooibos until it has the right moisture content to oxidize overnight. This heap of rooibos is commonly referred to as a sweat heap or oxidation heap. Throughout the night, the heap's temperature is monitored to ensure that the rooibos oxidizes optimally at the correct temperature. When the oxidation heap's temperature reaches 38 degrees Celsius, the Rooibos is rotated to lower the temperature and keep it in the optimal temperature range. The next morning, when the sun bakes over the tea cord and the oxidation heap's temperature is within the optimal temperature range again, the oxidized Rooibos is spread over the drying cord with a special spreader machine to be dried by the sun and the wind. The Rooibos is agitated with an implement throughout the day to speed up the drying process and prevent over-oxidation. The Rooibos is first spread into thin, elongated strips so that the sun can dry the drying cord in between before being spread flat over the whole drying cord to dry the Rooibos evenly. After midday, when the Rooibos' moisture content is below 8%, the dried Rooibos is collected in bulk bags in which it is finally stored. When the Rooibos is needed, it is packaged in the O'Hays Rooibos branded packaging or in bulk bag for sales.